Everybody, how you doing? This is Byron of Byron Riley CPA, and I am here today with Ms. Camille Hicks of
Hi.
Hicks Insurance Agency, broker and financial services company, and she specializes in working with small business owners. And so, one of the things we want to talk about today is insurance for your small business. Why do you need insurance? What do you need insurance? What type of coverage? How to do an assessment? So, I'm gonna give Ms. Hicks, let her do a brief intro and tell you a little bit about C. Hicks Insurance Agency.
Thank you, Byron. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a small business owner myself, so I really have a passion for helping small business owners, especially all businesses of all sizes, but especially small business owners, protect their assets and their business because, we work really hard a lot of us have really built businesses a lot of times from the ground up. And one catastrophic event can take you out and can destroy everything you've built. So I specialize in helping small business owners protect what they built.
Okay. Now, do you focus on any particular industry, or you service a variety of industries?
I service a variety of industries. I do have a heart for hospitality and wine and food, wineries, vineyards, restaurants.
Okay.
However, we do have a team of brokers that can service all industries. So anything from construction to real estate to hospitality.
Okay.
Agencies, we do it all.
So for the small business owner who's watching us today, and let's say they might have just general liability insurance, or they might not have insurance. What are some quick things they can do to make an assessment on their business to identify, or what type of assessment would you do to help them identify what type of insurance they may need?
Yeah, so there's two things. I always say do your own assessment, but then you can always call us to actually do a more detailed assessment. But I try to keep it real simple because, insurance can get to be real complicated. But, I always tell small business owners to ask yourself, if something happened today or tomorrow, what would I lose? So
great question.
That's the assessment really that to start with for yourself is, if, and I'm speaking, this is off of personal experience being here in Houston, Hurricane Harvey hit and a lot of businesses flooded. So I tell my clients, ask yourself, what do you do if that happens again? What if your business is flooded and you can't get into work? Or what if somebody sues you for a product that you made or sold and they sue you for $1 million? How do you handle that? What would you lose? And that's where insurance comes into play in all those situations.
Okay, let's back up on the Harvey. That was a great one. That was a really great analogy. Because if a person assess what would they lose, it's twofold. Depending on the type of business they have. So let's go back to industry you cater to, a wine bar, a restaurant. Mm-hmm. So if they're open every weekend, Harvey comes through. Yes. So now they lose, they have equipment there for the winery, coolers, maybe they have a kitchen, equipment and things like that. Bar stools, tables, signage. So they lose assets. Mm-hmm. But the other deal they lose too is income. Mm-hmm. So those are two different types of insurance. So, and whereas most people think in terms of I'm protected from the assets, but they don't think in terms of the disruption insurance.
Exactly.
Right? So give us a little breakdown about how that type of assessment can take place, and then what's the difference between, in an example like business interruption insurance.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. It's a loaded question too. So you do want to look at what you lose in all aspects of the business. So, like for example, the example you use with say a winery, wine bar, or a restaurant or somebody in the hospitality industry. If people can't get to your location, you're losing money. So there's a coverage called business interruption insurance. Mm-hmm. So if your business is interrupted because of a covered loss, there's actually insurance that will pay you for lost income. And, the one thing I really want to emphasize to small business owners is that, you know, a lot of businesses don't have insurance, but they also have not called to get a quote to see how much it costs. And people always think it costs way more than it does. And not to say that premiums can't get hefty, but if you don't call to get a quote, you don't know that maybe you can have general liability with.
Well, let's pause 1 second. What number should they call?
You should call C. Hicks Agency at 281-549-5264.
And what's their website?
It's chicksinsurance.com.
Great deal. All right.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yeah, and we're open 24/7 to get a quote. You can call.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you can call or text us.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I answer your question, because there's so many different types of insurance, and you can be overinsured or you could be underinsured. So when you're looking at the situation with the wine bar or a restaurant that has to close down due to Harvey, I always take what you could lose. That's why I say, ask yourself the question, what do I have to lose in different situations? So for example, with Hurricane Harvey, let's say one of the assessments we do is if a natural disaster hits, what do you have to lose? So in this case with Hurricane Harvey, which a lot of us felt the impact of here in Houston and a lot of other places as well, is what kind of product is in your location that might have gotten flooded or destroyed, or even spoiled food in the refrigerator from sitting for a month. Those are things that can be replaced through insurance.
Right. So on that insurance, the inventory versus that business asset, for the inventory, is that a different type of insurance then? Or is it a rider that covers the assets and the insurance and the inventory?
Yeah, those are like riders, or what we call like endorsements or add-ons to a policy.
Okay.
On the coverage, some of them come as packages, and some of them you can add on coverage. So in this instance, the example that we're using, that would be two different types of coverage. Could be covered under one big policy called a business owner's policy, but that would be for your contents, it would be what we call business personal property. So it's just like in your home, if you were to lose contents inside of your house, it would be called personal property.
Right.
Just like you have personal property, your business also has its own personal property.
Exactly. That's right.
So we call it BPP, or business personal property.
All right, I got you.
So that's one coverage. And then the business interruption insurance is coverage for income loss.
Now that brings up another good point. So when you start talking about business interruption insurance, how does that work, and what does a business owner need to have in place? I have an idea. I know for business interruption insurance, on the back, on one of the things the owner's going to have a clean set of books to identify income.
Well, that's a very important. I say that I react that way because it's something that a lot of small business owners don't have all the time, or struggle to maintain their books. And it is important to know your income and what you're truly going to be losing in a situation in order for us to cover you properly.
Right.
Because the business interruption coverage is based off of your income for your business.
And can I use bank statements too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more important for you to know than for us to know, because we're going to cover you based on what you tell us. But when it comes down to it and it's time to file a claim, or you've lost X amount of dollars, but you were covered for X amount of dollars, that's going to be more on what you told us and what you gave us and what you have versus what we cover you for.
I got you. Okay. All right. Good information. That's real good. All right. So let me ask you this. So how are insurance premiums determined for businesses? You know, we know how they do for personal, but how are businesses impacted by premium pricing?
That's a great question. It's kind of the same thing with the businesses as personal. So, personal, they look at a lot of different things. Your, what we call in the industry, like your risk. What risk are you?
Right.
Insurance kind of gets this weird bad name or rep for different things. But when you really look at it, companies are insuring your assets and the things that you own for a smaller premium than what you're actually going to get back if something were to happen. So insurance, I say, is more for catastrophic events than the small little things that happen throughout, the life of your life or your business, the life of your business. So just like with personal insurance, they're looking at your age, they're looking at your health, they're looking at where you live, what kind of car you drive. Those are all different factors that tell a company what your risk is for certain events that could happen. So if you live in an area that's near the water, of course you're at a higher risk of flood than somebody who lives inland. So it's the same thing with your business. Your business has its own risk profile, meaning that what kind of business are you in? If you're in the construction industry, then you have a greater risk of employees getting hurt on the job than somebody who teaches classes inside of a building.
Right.
So premium is determined based on your risk and what what your operations are. So it's very important to have clear operations and to be transparent with your insurance broker or insurance agent on what your risk, what's not your risk, what your operations are. Because I've had clients, I'm just going to add this real fast. I've had clients who tell us the description of their services, and then something actually happens and they have a claim, and the thing that happened to them that they're filing a claim on was not included in their service.
Oh, wow.
And then all of a sudden, when the insurance company might not be able to cover it, then it can cause a feeling like your insurance company didn't take care of you, but you didn't give us, not us, but the insurance company, you did not tell them all of your services.
I can testify that because even in errors and omission insurance, you have to do that. Yeah.
And I think the average small business owner, you're not doing it on purpose. It's just that you don't know, you're not clear on your own description of services, and you're adding on things. We're out here you're trying to make the money, you're adding on services, but it's very important that you have a clear description of services when it comes to insurance.
One insurance, and I know you carry this, and I've actually bought this insurance before. I can't think of the proper name of it, but I think I've seen it on your site. Okay. Dealing with technology, protecting your equipment from viruses, your laptop, mobile devices. What type of insurance is that?
Well, the most common one right now is become very popular, cyber security.
That's it, cybersecurity. That's the term I was looking for, cybersecurity. So that's the insurance right now today that should be common amongst all businesses. So talk a little bit about cybersecurity, and even for small businesses, on how they should consider cybersecurity insurance.
Yeah, you've seen it in the past. I know, especially the past couple of years, where a company has had a breach of data. They're collecting customers' information, and then somebody breaches their security wall and ends up getting that customer's information. Those type of services and things that happen and damages that somebody could sue the business for can be covered under cybersecurity. And is even a